Hi there, this is me, Aygun, and it's my pleasure meeting you again for my next session. This lecture, I'm going to talk to you about the analyst role and product owner and my advice on how you can become a successful one if you're on the stage of the transitioning your career. So stay tuned. So what the future? So the future yourself as a product owner, you need to have the ability to shift your mindset. So the role shift will require a little bit of changes, of course. I'm going to also tell you about the five-step journey, how to become a successful product owner. And of course, we are going to discuss about the tools, habits, and some traps that you should avoid. So, why do analysts usually become very successful product owners? Of course, it's because the analysts are both on the data side and on the user side. So that's why you have that ability to observe both and come up with unique ideas. And plus, 76% of PO hires in last year, 2025, they come from the field of analytics, and they become more promoted, right? Very frequently promoted. And actually, there's still a skill gap because it's all about thinking. It's not only about the text, but also about the decision making. So let's analyze and let's compare both roles. So analyst and product owner. So analytics is more about like what happened versus product owner is like what should we do next. So if analysts are more about the reports, dashboards, and data modeling, so the product owner will be already on the decision side. So it's going to be about the value, about the shipped value, about the backlogs and decisions. If analyst's role usually takes task for the days, 2 weeks to finalize. For the product owner, it's going to take longer, like from quarters and 2 years, and how they're going to, how larger they're gonna, how larger they're going to analyze things. So for the success, you need to have the ability to be accurate and clear. And for the product owner, it's mostly about the outcomes and adoption. For stakeholders, it's about informing, and for the product owner, it's about aligning and deciding. So the mindset for the product owners, it's what makes you a great analytics person. So it's about for the analyst role, if it's about SQL, stat, and experimentation. For the product owner, it's more about the vision, having the ability to work with stakeholders. So, what are the four shifts that you would need when transitioning from analyst role to product owner? So it's about the output. If before it was about output, then for the product owner, you already need to focus on the outcomes. It's definitely when becoming a product owner, you need to focus on velocity, right? Because the good decision making today, it needs to be very fast and almost a perfect one. The next would be about the shifting from answering to asking the question, because the value is brought when you are asking the right questions and you have a lot of questions. And the last one is, of course, when it's about system, right? When you are able to decide to design the entire system for your team to succeed. And that what requires to become a successful product owner. So journey, the five-step journey is going to be shaped by hundreds of analysts, right? So they would be owning a specific metric where it's going to shape how to get a new and a good KPI. It's about having the right way of planning, right? It's based on the demand. You need to get this tool to have the discovery, how you run it successfully, ability to get your interviews done, and shipping the small bets. Yeah, you're driving the one feature from end to end, and you're yourself launching the metrics. And finally, leading the squad, because it takes a good lead, a good owner, to take the backlog, to bring in the team to the great quarterly outcomes. Discovery Toolkit is combined of various let's say toolkits, right? So it's user interviews, when your conversations, you need to beat up the server responses. It's on the day of the day, and in the day of the day, at the end of the day, it's about the jobs that needs to be done, and it's about how you frame the problem so you're able to solve it. Finally, it's about opportunity trees, because maps are being designed to get the solutions right, to get to the right solution. Prototyping, product prototyping is very important because it turns your opinions into viable decisions, into viable product. What if you have this assumption mapping? It has this opportunity to have your risky beliefs, to make it, to reveal it, to reveal all your beliefs, and before you start on building things, and probably that's where you eliminate your risk in the end. And of course, the last one is about analytics deep dive. You need to have your own superpower, how to have the ability to analyze, you can handle all your tasks based on your analytic skills. So delivery would be based mostly on story writing, style slicing, refinement, sprint goals, release notes, and post-launch reviews. So let's see the graphs and see like where does the product owners stand within a week? Like where do they mostly spend their time? So as the graph shows, 22% of the time, product owners are at the discovery stage, and at the least at the administrative. And then in between 15, 14, 20%, it goes through alignment, refinement, stakeholder communication, drawing the data and metrics, and writing the different tickets for the users. So, what are the good tips to communicate like a PO? So there are four ways. It's when you are able to communicate yourself correctly and you're able to drive the right decision. So bluff, which says bottom line up front, yeah, it comes about the recommendation first, and then that draws the evidences. The pyramid style, it's when you answer the main question, focusing on later on the key points and having the supporting data. Primordium is when definitions launch being failed, and you need to always explain why. And of course, about the decision. So decisions needs to go around the being able to record the calls, alternatives, and the reversibility. For their strategy, you have the different models, North Star metrics, OKRs, now, next, later, scanner model, rise scoring, bet sizing. So all these toolkits are enabling you to wisely design the strategy. Because without the designing right strategy, it's going to be like very challenging to get your daily job task done. So these are the five traps that I mentioned here, that that comes again from the analyst side, that they should avoid if they want to become a really good POs. So the first thing is about analysis paralysis. Go on decision making part. Do not hide yourself behind these dashboards, behind the reports. So the second would be about ability to measure the success, and how the values are being created. Solutions are always coming the first. Don't fail yourself. Don't fail yourself with the idea to validate the problem. And the last one is the hero mode. You need to coach and mentor your team. Your team mostly would be the dependent on what you preach and what you what you give them, as a thinking, as a team thinking, how you're building that concept and how you're building that ideology. So the last thing is, not the last but not least, as an analyst, to have in your superpower, you need to have the ability to own the product. Yeah, so the ownership goes to you, and of course about the decision, because decision that you're making is gonna matter anyways. So you need to own the outcomes, not only the inputs but also outcomes. Yeah, outputs. So you have to have the ability to decide wisely with the data. So be careful with the data. Data needs to be precise. It needs to be clean, and you need to be able to use it right away when it's needed. So keep up with the data quality. And coach, you need to be able to delegate the task correctly, and also to coach. Learn a lot. It's also about the self learning and self progressing, because that's what the PO, successful PO role, product owner role, will require you to have higher success metrics. So I would like to thank you for your attention. Feel free to reach out as always through YouTube or the LinkedIn. And I hope you got a lot of information very briefly about and my advice and recommendation how to become a really good PO, product owner. If you're at this stage, how you're transitioning from the analyst role to product owner.